for joining us, and Kate, and we're talking about the Color Wheel capsule today. I was kind of inspired to pull this and style it this week because we have so many fun colors in the store right now, and we've done a lot of our core capsules lately, and I think that adding color into your wardrobe is just kind of the next step once you've got your core covered. So Kate and I are going to be talking a little bit about color today.
For those of you who don't know what the Color Wheel is, let's back up just a second.
Yeah, I was inspired by the Tibi Color Wheel, which, if you don't know what it is, Tibi released this tool, and it's really to help with coming up with different combinations of colors to create different emotions and to kind of elicit different vibes. And really, I like the way that Amy, the founder of Tibi, talks about color as a tool to just express how you're feeling. And you can combine them in different ways and create different feelings, and I'm really inspired by that. I have the sticker of this on the back of my phone, and I look at it daily when I'm getting dressed. And it's just I think it's inspiring, and we can turn these wheels and create different combinations of colors. And the way that she has this set up, just a little color wheel for beginners. They're called rings. So there's ring 1, which is black. Ring 2, which is all of your neutrals. Ring 3, they call these the ish colors. They're kind of no color colors, or combinations of colors that you would kind of describe as ish, and they tend to be a little bit more muted and toned down, less saturated. And then ring 4 are all of these really bright colors. And so when we're talking about different combinations of colors, and she refers to rings, or we refer to rings, that's what we're talking about. She also just did a really cool series on colors for travel capsules, and kind of colors based on destinations. And if you're in New York, you're mostly in ring 1 and 2. And I think that's really interesting and helpful with packing as well.
Yeah, totally.
Especially when you're pulling a capsule, we tend to pick in a color palette, and then we have 1 or 2 accent colors or pops of color that we pull in, or a color story that we tell. So just kind of a fun concept, and I thought we would use it to show some of our new arrivals and things for you guys as well. Do you want me to start? You want to start?
I can start. Taylor pulled the capsule, and just for reference, she and I have very different approaches to color and to the color wheel, which is great and normal, and not one is right or wrong, but I think it's helpful for you guys to see just 2 different personality types and styles with the approach to color. So Taylor pulled a lot of kind of ring 4 saturated colors, and she'll show you how she uses those as tools and uses some of the ring 3 colors and ring 2 colors to tone those down. I have a tendency to pull more neutrals, wear more neutrals. I don't wear a ton of color. If I do, it's maybe all in one sort of color story, basically. I'll wear several different shades of, pink, red.
Kate's I feel you'll wear these, if I were to do this, hold on. Kate's she'll wear these colors together, and I like to pick colors from opposite sides of the color wheel sometimes and mix them together.
Right. And so the feeling there, the opposite sides, that creates a bolder, more friction look, I would say. Whereas the other is a little bit softer, more subtle. So that's kind of my take on it.
It's kind of our personalities. Sometimes.
Yeah, pretty much, in the color wheel. But anyway, so just to start, we started out this week with and just a brief talk about the capsules. They are selling out quickly, so as we launch a new one every week, and we start on Monday with our first video, and so a lot of times by Friday we are sold out, and that is what happened this week. We had the butter yellow, longer Rachel Comey piece that was similar to this, but it did sell out. So I've substituted in this Frank and Eileen light blue duster, I guess, or dress, depending on how you want to wear it. So I've got that on in a size.
It's a 1 size.
Oh,
which is great.
Yeah. And then this is the Roa white tank. I
Size here is 40.
Okay. And the De Palma belt, and then these are the new high pure jeans. We just got these in this week, I think.
Yeah, this week.
And are these the, do you remember what these
I
are?
have no idea what these are called. We're so prepared, you guys.
Well,
we'll link them for you.
Yeah.
We'll link them for you.
But these are the size 28. So these, I could have sized down, but I like things, as you guys probably know by now, to sit a little lower on my hips. And then I'm wearing these, we just got these new flip-flops in from Teeks, and they are a crocodile, hang on, sorry, there's like a little sticker on it. Crocodile square-toed, dark brown, like dark espresso brown flip-flop. They're great. They're a little on the elevated side, I would say, for a flip-flop. So yeah, in this case, as far as color goes, it's kind of like, I don't know, I guess when I look at it, the white pops out. It's almost like the white is like a 1. Which it is. I mean, the white is in the ring too, and it's kind of like it's the brightest thing going on in my look right now. So yeah. All right, I'll change.
And those jeans are so good. The high pure jeans we got in the short lengths this time, because they just run super long. So I think there's another pair that we might try on later in this video for you as well. Okay, I wanted to talk about this top from Tibi. It is one of the hero pieces in this capsule for me, and I love this color so much. And then the high neck and the fabric, and it's got buttons all down the back. So I feel like I styled this so many different ways in this capsule. Starting out, I just have on a base outfit with these navy Winslow pants. And I love having a navy pant because they're still neutral, but they feel a little bit softer than styling this paired back to black. So I think having a navy bottom is really, really great, a great tool to have in your wardrobe. But what I wanted to do was show how adding in different colors can really change the vibe of your look. And that's what I love about it so much. So the first thing I wanted to pull in is this Tibi trench coat. So this is, the reason that we love this trench coat so much is because of the color. I mean, obviously the style is fantastic, but the color is not your typical tan camel color that a lot of classic trench coats are. This one falls in that ring 3. So this one falls in kind of this ring 3, kind of like ish color. And I think that that's really helpful when you're playing with a brighter color in your wardrobe, because what this does is it just helps tone it down. So styled here with the bright blue and the navy, I feel like this is how I would dress if I want to add a little bit of dimension and something just a little bit more interesting than another, if I were to throw on something that's more like in a ring 2, so like black or classic tan camel. I feel like this just gives me a little bit more depth. It feels a little bit more nuanced. It feels just more interesting to me. And then what it does with the bright color is help tone it down. I also love styling this here because of this high neck in the top. I think this is such a great top to, like, if you were to completely button up this trench coat. This trench coat, it has a lot going on, but we're going to show you a lot of different ways to kind of play around with the different features it has. We've been showing the funnel neck a lot, but I like leaving it open with the high neck here, and then you just get just like the little pop of color right here, which I think is really fun. And I feel like this is something that I would wear around town, but this also feels like something I'd wear in New York or on a buying trip. It's like kind of cool and interesting, but still feels subtle. Sometimes though, I am craving a little bit more friction. I think that was a good way to put it. Like, this feels very calm and a little bit more subtle to me. Sometimes I am craving some friction. And instead of a ring 3, I'm gonna pull in another ring 4 color. And I love this red cardigan from Guest in Residence. It's almost like it's not like a super bright red. It kind of comes across that way on camera, or it's got like it's got like a different
There's a softness to it.
There's a softness to it. It's not a really harsh red. I know it's hard. It is hard to explain. But I love this.
It's almost like a little faded or something.
Yeah. yeah, it almost looks like it's been like sun faded or something the best way. But I love this tied around my waist here, and again, this is when I am feeling like I'm just craving something a little bit more bold, and some days I wake up and I'm just like, I just want to, like, that's how I want to feel and that's how I want to dress, and so that's why I'll pull something like this in.
Or like you were just saying, or like if you're in a place that feels like it calls for that,
yes.
Like if you're traveling and really like you want to step it up. And
you want to have that bold color. This is what I'll do here and pull in the red and tie it around my waist, and I really love this like feeling. And then if I don't need to throw this on right now, but just to like show the difference, if I were feeling very classic instead, and I wanted to swap out things, the blue for just a navy cashmere sweater, I would do an all navy, or like this also could be. Do that a lot in here. You could also do the navy around and pull in another neutral, and again, this is just a little bit more, this is I think if I'm feeling a little bit more classic.
Yeah.
And you're gonna pull in another neutral.
And that's like a perfect, again, we're still learning the color wheel, so bear with us. We're just like trying to interpret it, but from what I understand, this is could be considered a none, correct? Because it's all in one.
Yeah, kind of all in one tone. And I've got the blue, I'm styling these blue, I don't know if you guys can see. Well, these are kind of like bluish grayish, so they're like an ish color, which is also why I love these shoes from Le Monde Barrel. They're a little wedge, so they add a little bit of height, and they feel like an elevated version of a flip-flop for spring and summer. Yeah, I think that we'll talk a little bit about the one ton or none a little bit. I think it's a harder concept for us to grasp and fully explain, but definitely watch all of Tibi's content on it because it's really interesting and cool. But it's just about creating balance in your outfits.
Yeah, and I think it takes that intimidation factor away from playing with color.
Yeah.
Like it gives you a little bit of like a roadmap.
Yes, a roadmap. Okay, I'm going to change into something else.
Okay, so this is exactly what she was talking about as far as my color palette of choice. So I've got the brown from ring 2, so kind of like right here, which is in my pants. And then I've got the sort of maroon-ish color, that's why they call them ish colors. And then from ring 4, I've got the pink. So if you can see this, it's like this situation right here, which just has, I think, a calming effect. It's like I'm wearing a lot of color, and I don't know if she would consider this, or if they would consider this one or a ton, but I like it regardless of what we're going to call it, and I'll talk through the pieces. These are all last ones that we have in the store right now, so just FYI. These are the last pair of the brown Rachel Comey. I think these are called the Ash, maybe?
Ash Bolt.
Oh, yeah. Ash Bolt.
Yeah.
And these are a size small, and they fit me well. Typically, I would not like a size small around my waist. I don't like anything tight around my waist. These don't bother me at all, but there's definitely like enough to keep them up. And there's a little like cincher right here if you want to tighten them up. If I wanted to like wear them higher. I mean, I probably would want to cinch them up if I wanted to wear them higher. So just FYI there. And then this is the last Tibi sheared tank. This is regular in the back. It doesn't have the open back, and it is a size large. And the color is just a really good tool. It definitely works. I'm going to show it to you with red as well, but it definitely works to tone down a lot of like brighter colors or even just like more saturated colors. And then this is the last Tibi Gabe shirt. Actually, I don't know what size this is.
This size is a medium.
Okay, so size medium. I can't believe we still have this actually.
It's so good.
But the Gabe shirt is so great because of these big slits on the side. I mean, it's good for lots of reasons, but this gives it a lot of versatility as far as what you can do with it. It feels really intentional when you tie it. And it has like, there's an elegance to it, weirdly, but it still keeps its chill. It's very oversized and kind of like, seems like it's inspired by a fishing shirt, but the fabric and like the crispness of the collar definitely give it some elegance. So you can definitely dress this up or down.
I love this.
So, and then I was going to just show it really quick with the red as well. Oh, there's
so getting questions.
Color.
I'm wearing a small in this Tibi shirt. For whoever is asking.
That's such a good shirt too. Okay, so changing the vibe completely, honestly, but still totally in the same general vicinity here. But I do like the red as a pop with the cinnamon. So just to show you the front, so it is cinnamon, and I will change.
Can I have you unbutton a couple of these?
Yes. Top?
Yeah, the top ones.
Like that? Or more?
Maybe one more. Perfect, thank you. Okay, I just wanted to show, I was playing around with styling this top a lot of different ways. It's got the buttons all down the back, and so I also wore it as an open button down, flipped around over a tank top. But I also, I just had Kate unbutton some of these. I love a high neck, but sometimes I think if I want to play around and change the silhouette here, I tuck in the collar, and you can kind of do it off the shoulder, and I think that just lends a little bit more like sexiness to it by showing some skin. If I wanted to do a different vibe here. And I wanted to show this top paired back to jeans because I think that's a really easy starting point for a lot of you when you're looking at introducing a color into your wardrobe. A lot of times you can just pair it back to like your favorite pair of jeans and not have it feel so intimidating. So I love this color with denim. These are I also love these, I wanted to show these jeans. These are the Mother Dodger button flood jeans. I'm wearing a size 30, which is my true size. And they're the perfect length on me. I'm 5'4" for size reference, but they're kind of a mid to high rise and just a really classic darker wash straight leg. And then what I was gonna do here was pull in, I could do a couple of things, but I wanted to pull in this bag. I think accessories are a really good way to add color as well, and this chartreuse color is definitely having a moment right now. We're kind of seeing it everywhere, and I love this little silk pillow clutch from Rachel Comey. It feels like a sophisticated way to add in this color, and it still like feels a little playful, and I think this would be a great clutch for like a date night. This is maybe what I would wear out to dinner for a date night. And then I can also throw on the, we're gonna get a lot of, this trench coat was another one of like my hero pieces in this capsule. Do this here. And pull in will you grab that? We unbuttoned the lapel and we just button it back so it stops moving. But I like the trench thrown over. Again, it just like helps soften it a little bit, and I like the little pop of color in the clutch. I'm gonna throw something else on.
Okay. Okay, so I threw on, this is another pair of hikers that we just got in. They're so good. They have a little pleat in the front, which is so cute, and they're just nice and loose and casual. And this is a size 28 as well. Again, I could probably have sized down a little. They would maybe fit a little higher rise. And maybe I should have, I'm not sure. But I do like things a little bit looser. So, and I am going for none here with just kind of all ivory-ish colors. I think this is more of like would be considered like a butter yellow with the ivory, but it kind of gives like a nun with all the ivory and white together. And then I wanted to show the trench also because I saw it styled in such a cute way, and I want to see if I can replicate it, but bear with me because I haven't tried it, so I'm going to try this on camera. But I believe they just had like just the tops buttons, and then had the lapel kind of pulled over, so from this side over to this side, and then she buttoned it down. which I thought was really cool.
Oh, that is cool.
I mean, she had like the sleeve scrunched up, which I also love. And that's nice too because you have this button here to tighten it if you want. If you want to be able to have that like capability to or option to scrunch up your sleeves and have them stay. So, yeah. And this would be a neutral still. You're still staying in the neutrals, but it definitely adds, like, it sort of softens, I think. Again, like, I think this color does such a good job of softening. Just like either, well, basically all the colors, but even the neutrals, it just doesn't feel so harsh. It feels really,
like it'd be a different effect if you threw on a black coat
totally,
or something that's a little higher contrast.
Yeah. So, I wanted to show you that.
I'm gonna steal the trench from you too. This is such a good trench. This is the size small in the trench that we're styling.
And do we have another size left? Or
I think we have maybe an extra small.
Okay.
Kind of small. I was going to show kind of a very similar, actually, concept to what Kate just did, but I threw on a different bottom. These are the Roa, like white cutoff shorts. I think these are the last size. They're a size 40, and they fit me perfectly. I'm actually obsessed with these. And this is just our velvet boosting, but an all-white base. And what I was going to say is, if you're not quite ready, or sometimes you're just not in the mood to pull a ring 4 color, like one of these really like bright pops of color. Sometimes you're not in the mood to pull one of these, or if you haven't introduced a lot of color, and I have a lot of you come in and shop and you're like, I just wear neutrals. Like I literally only wear neutrals. I think pulling in an ish color gives you so much more depth and options and versatility in your wardrobe. So I think that's why I also love this trench and the color that it is, because even if you've got your neutrals on underneath, like I just have kind of a brighter white. And I think in this case too, the white adds a little bit more contrast than what you had, the cream and the butter yellow. And so you can throw this trench coat on, and I think it helps tone down like the all bright white look as well. So just such a good tool, and I love this. And then if I was running out the door, or again if I'm traveling, or I'm in a place where I just am craving something a little bit more, what I would do here is pull in this red cardigan again, and I would throw this on over my shoulders and add kind of a pop here. And I love the like friction and the contrast that this gives me. It just feels a little bit more like bold.
Yeah, and I love a red pop, even just on like a plain trench, just like a classic camel color trench. But this just feels really interesting. Like it doesn't like feel as classic, I guess. It just feels a little cooler.
It feels a little, a little more interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a different vibe.
Yeah.
Less classic.
Exactly.
I think that's kind of all I'm gonna say about this.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot else. I just threw in again like the blue duster over this as well, and then I do love like again sort of staying in that same color like tones. I like the navy with the light blue as well. It just feels fresh and interesting, but adds a little something. So
I think that's kind of it.
Did you show the blue blouse open and turn around? Let me do that really. Just so you can see.
I also use the blue blouse tied around my waist because it is such a, kind of in the same way that I tie button downs around my waist all of the time. Similar concept, but because it's such like a pretty airy silk, it has such a nice flow to it when you're tying it around your waist.
Like this would look really cool. If you wanted an option underneath the trench popping out kind of like buttoned up the front.
We'll just do it. We're like, imagine.
Yeah, I guess we could just show it.
We'll just show it. So you can wear the top like this as well.
Yeah, the top has so much versatility.
Sorry.
Like it's so much more casual like that.
So you do it just like this as a, kind of as a button down. Thank you. we're talking about Tibi a lot, but this is the concept that they kind of created and talk about, but talking about how you are not a one-dimensional person, and so the way that you're dressing shouldn't feel one-dimensional either. It should feel like a representation of you and what you want to communicate and express to the world. That's why I love doing what I do, and that's why I love clothing so much. And so I think that color is such a fun way to just like express who you are.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and it just adds interest. I mean,
it's
you know, I think we talk a lot about like capsules and like, you know, sort of core things, but we like to play with other things too. It's just those things are a great foundation. So,
yeah, that's kind of it. All we've got for you today. Let us know if you have any questions about any of the pieces that we tried on. We've gotten so many new arrivals in the store, so I think next week we're going to try to do like an impromptu new arrivals live video that's just more like showing you guys everything we've gotten in and how it fits. So if you see anything on our website that you want us to try on or you have questions about, let us know, because I think we're going to try to do that next week. And yeah, we'll just see you guys later.